Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Laura with Stitchin with Laura. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is having a great Friday. Well, today we are going to be starting Garden Girl that I got this morning from GBFkE. And as promised, I will be starting in these flowers and the color is 3328. And I'll show it to you. It looks kind of like a dark salmon, if you will. I'm just not real sure how to clarify that. It's kind of orange and it's kind of pink. So, let me pull you down so everybody can see what is going on. So, how are y'all doing? It's almost the weekend again. And here we are. Gee, Manelli. Well, yesterday was a little bit busy, if you will. I didn't even get time for a nap. Yeah, that's how that went. I went to the grocery store about noon, and I got stuff to make, well, it was called Mexican stew, if you will. And, yeah. Well, I made that. I didn't, thank goodness, make a huge batch of it. It's kind of globby. So I'm thinking when I have some more of it later today, I think I'll just make some regular rice, because I tried to make Spanish rice with the Knorr, K-N-O-R company Spanish rice. Yeah, that was not good at all. No. I could have made it better with a little bit of salsa, but yeah. So I didn't like that. It was just too much, if you will. But the rest of it turned out pretty good. Did take forever for it to cook because, unfortunately, yeah, I decided not to cook it in the crock pot, which I should have. Yeah, because it took forever for the meat and the carrots to get done. So, yeah, it wasn't one of my favorites. So we'll try it with some plain rice tonight and see how that goes. And so that was cooking all day, so I couldn't turn it off. I swear it took 4 hours for the meat to get done in that, oh, I don't know, I guess you'd call it a Dutch oven type thing that I have. Yeah, no. And in between all that, I did stitch on, let's see, what did I stitch on? Stitched on the Tang Dynasty. I stitched on the hairpins, and I also got out, what is it called? Mediterranean, and put a few threads into that one. So yeah, it was just here, there, and everywhere, and ended up the day with working on the hairpins, because yeah, I tried on the Tang Dynasty and it's just so hard to hang onto. It's just not a joy to stitch on until it gets a little more broke down, if you will. Yeah, fun times. So I put 2 or 3 full strands into the other, maybe more, I just didn't count. And I'm stitching along, and I'm using this one color that I thought was for, let's call it a half square in green, right? Well, up in the leaves it's like green. And then I get over to working on her dress, and there is another green half square, going in the opposite direction. Of course, can you believe this? Number 6 was the first color I used. Number 9 is the second color I used. Yeah. So I quickly went and put that whole 6 strands into where it actually was. I'm looking to make sure I'm doing this right side up. Actually supposed to be. It's not like I'd take anything out, but it's a good thing I noticed that right off the bat, because I had one strand left from the green part. And I thought, well, I'll just put that down there and it'll be ready for when I get to working on her dress again. Yeah, no. I looked at it 3 or 4 times before I decided that they were 2 separate symbols. Why did they do that? They have a plethora of symbols to use. Why do you have... I don't understand. I don't get it, but at least I noticed it before I sewed it all in. I did think it was quite odd that there was going to be green in there, but, you know, okay. Yeah, that was just too much fun. So that's kind of where I ended that. And I, of course, didn't work on those 2 greens I told you about I'm supposed to be looking at when it's light outside. I sat in my chair maybe for a whole hour when I was stitching on Mediterranean and the Tang Dynasty one, because they're right there. So, yeah. It was kind of cloudy, and then it poured like crazy, and then it quit. It was awesome. But the rest of the time, the sun was out. Everything looked fine. I kept looking at my phone to see about how the weather was going to be, if it was going to be colder or whatever, you know. And it kept saying the rain will end at blah, blah, blah time, right? The sun was shining. It wasn't raining at all. So they were a little behind. It was awesome. Awesome. Don't know what to tell you. So that's how my day went. And by the time I even thought about taking a nap, it was 7 o'clock at night. So, yeah. And I thought, no, that'll just interrupt my sleep for sure. So I just passed it off and I went to bed about 12:30. So, fun times. So what's everybody else doing? I hope you're doing something fun. And I did realize that this weekend is Mother's Day, so I have no plans. I have no idea. Haven't heard from either of my kids as to them doing a thing. So, yeah. We'll just wait and see. Of course, my son's not one to make plans far ahead. He'll probably call me, say, hey, we're coming down. Would you like to go out to lunch for Mother's Day? That's how that happens. And I think my daughter's a bit busy. They got some things going on this weekend, so I hope somebody cooks dinner for her. So, whoops, I went up the wrong side. We'll just have to wait and see. When the sun was shining yesterday, I almost went out there and grabbed the chair and threw it back on the porch again, because, you know, it's just lightweight plastic and it keeps... And it's molded plastic, so it's not like I can keep it in the house. I just stack them up there on the patio, and they stay there year-round. Figure out where to put that. Whoa, that needle. I got my little kitty cat today. He looked like, or she looked like something that would have been walking around in the garden. Doesn't it? Yeah, that's the way I felt about it, so. Oh, I'm not going down there. Let's go up here. Sorry for all the stops and starts. I tried to get a red color here, but this was as reddish as I could find. You know, that had decent amount of symbols, that is. So what is everybody else working on? And I hope everybody else gets to go someplace for Mother's Day. Go out with your kids or your significant other or with a friend. There you go. If anybody's got any pictures they'd like to send, you can send it to my email address. It's in the description box below. And I will put them in the nearest stitch with me as soon as I possibly can. But it's nice that everybody shares their pictures of what they're working on and what they've finished. It's just nice to see different things every once in a while. And different, you know, crafts, because not everybody does cross stitch. I keep hoping that my daughter and I are going to be able to get out there in the countryside, if you will. It's so far away. You know, what, 10 minutes tops, maybe? No. But I don't relish tromping around in wet weeds and puddles of water and all that. And I know she's not real excited about that part either. So it can dry up anytime. We'll see how that goes for next week. This symbol, although it has quite a few that I need to stitch, it's just kind of here, there, and everywhere, ain't it? I think I've stopped and started 5 times already. Sorry about that. I like to get a running start. I was going to do that, I don't know, that purple. It's real pale right in there. Yeah, it was a pale, pale pink. So I opted against that one. Not pink, maybe it's peach. Who knows? We'll see what these turn out. I hate when the picture looks like they're going to be reddish and they turn out to be peachish orange. So we'll see. We used to have... Whoop. Okay, silly Billy. Pink. They were totally pink. Not striped or anything weird. Peonies when I was younger. In my mother's and grandmother's garden. And we also had pink, white, and red roses in the garden as well. Because they grew really well where we lived, so we had all those. And then you had the other ones that you get in the spring, but the roses grew the best, and they'd replace them every once in a while. We'd get a new or a different color. I think we took those to Texas with us. And then we had some in Denver when we lived in there. But we even had roses blooming. Well, not blooming exactly. They'd already come out, but then it snowed. Yeah. I think that one was yellow. So the snow was all around it. It didn't die. It lived. It was just too freaky to see the snow around it. Because, I don't know. Anybody that's had roses, I think they're supposed to be in hot weather, you know. they like that the best. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. And I haven't had any. We had some, like a, oh, I don't know, somebody had an arbor, if you will. You know what I mean, like that lattice thing where it was kind of a climbing rose is what it was. But it was already there when I got to Kansas. And it was more of a bush by the time I got to it, so. It liked that too. So. Those were about the only roses I had for the longest time. I can't remember any place else where I, whoops, dagnabbit, where I'd had roses. And we'd go out in the country. No, that was in the actual country, you know, where there were farms and stuff like that. There in Kansas, and there'd be wild roses growing beside the road. But short of that, didn't have any of the other kind. I tried a couple of times to grow roses, you know, get them new and plant. No, they didn't like me at all. So, probably need more of that dusting stuff that you put on it. Because we had lots of bugs in Kansas. It was just charming. Love all them bugs. Not. All right. Let me put, hang on, let me, I think that'll stay there. Whoop. There we go. And I'll just kind of fold it up. So there you go. It's starting its climb. There'll be some light, but I'm not sure what the rest of the other color is. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me today. I sure do appreciate each and every one of you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And please hit the bell. That way you'll know when my next video comes out. Stay safe. Stay healthy. We'll see you next time. God bless. Bye-bye. Keep stitching.